which is solving multi-step inequalities. So we're just going to walk through and solve some of these. Now, remember, when you're solving an equation or you're solving an inequality, what do we do with PEMDAS?
Oh, left to right.
You do go left to right, but we also do it backwards, right? So in a setup like this, where it's 9 plus 4t, are we adding and subtracting first or multiplying and dividing first? We're adding and subtracting, right? We're flip-flopping PEMDAS, okay? So we're used to doing this if we're just simplifying numbers, right? But when you're solving an inequality or you're solving an equation, you're actually going to do this.
Whoa, what is that?
Okay? So we need to add and subtract first, and then we multiply and divide. Okay? So what would your first step be here? You're going to subtract 9. We're going to take 9 away on both sides. So we are left with 0 here. This is 4t. We just subtracted 9. Do I flip my symbol?
No.
No, we leave it the same. Subtraction does not require a flip. 21 minus 9? What?
Yes. Only a negative.
Only if you add or multiply or divide by a negative.
Divided by 4.
Okay, so we have 4t is greater than 12. Now what do?
Divide by 4.
You divide by 4 on both sides. Do I flip my symbol?
No.
No, because we divided by a positive. So it's still greater than. 12 divided by 4 is 3.
That's it?
Okay, so your answer is t is greater than 3. Then you check it, okay? Because that will tell you, does this answer work out? So if t has to be greater than 3, can you give me an answer that would be a solution? 5. 5 is greater than 3. 4 is greater than 3. So your job at this point is to plug in a number that you know should work and see that it actually does. So I usually just go 1 above or 1 below the number that we had, because then you get nicer numbers to work with typically. So like on this one, I'm going to plug in a 4. Okay, so the whole check your answer part would be 9 plus 4 times 4 is greater than 21. Okay, now the variables are gone. Now you do PEMDAS in the right order. Okay, we're not isolating a variable. So you're just going to do 4 times 4 is 16. 9 plus 16 should be greater than 21. 9 plus 16 is 25. Is 25 greater than 21? Yes, so it checks out. Okay, that means this is a good answer. Okay?
So
Yeah.
we need to do the first equation with the normal, right? And when we need to check the answer, need to do it the different one or what?
When you're checking your answer, you're plugging a number in and simplifying, so doing PEMDAS, right? When you're solving, when you're trying to isolate from the original, you do PEMDAS backwards. You add and subtract first, and then you multiply and divide.
But when we check your answer,
Hey.
When we check the answer, we need to do the other equation like that?
You put it back into the original. Yeah, that one. Okay. So this one says, what are the solutions of 3 times t plus 1 minus 4t is greater than or equal to negative 5? Okay. What should you do first on this one? Distribute. Yep, we're going to distribute that 3. Don't forget to do both parts, okay? So it's 3 times t plus 3 times 1, which is 3, minus 4t is greater than or equal to negative 5, okay? Now this next step is where a lot of mistakes get made. So I want you to think right now without speaking it out loud, because I want everyone to have the opportunity to think it through. What would you do next? Don't tell me. Just think, what would I do next in this problem? Okay? Olivia, what would you do next?
Combine the t's.
Combine like terms. Okay, in here, I'm going to show you where most people go wrong on this. Most people see this and they go, oh, this is minus 4t, so I'm going to add 4t. Don't do this because this is wrong. and add 4t here, okay? When the t's are both on one side, you can't do that. You just totally changed your problem. We just need to simplify and combine like terms. So what you're actually doing here, and if it helps you to rewrite it, rewrite it. You're doing 3t minus 4t plus 3 is greater than or equal to negative 5. So we're just combining like terms here. What's 3t minus 4t?
T plus 3.
Not t.
Just T that's
Negative 1t, right? 3 minus 4 is a negative 1. So you can call it negative 1t or you can call it negative t. Plus 3 is greater than or equal to negative 5. What do you do next?
plus 1.
No, because that's multiplication, right? Negative 1 times t. You're going to take the 3 away.
What? You want to get rid of all the numbers.
So you have negative 1t is greater than or equal to negative 8, right? We don't flip because we're subtracting. No flipping. What do we do next?
You do like I said.
You divide by a negative 1. What's my answer? T is less than or equal to. We divided by a negative, so we got to flip that around. And then a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So t is less than or equal to 8. Okay, now because it's less than or equal to, you could plug in the 8 because 8 could be an answer, and then they'll actually equal each other. Or if you want to be a little more simple with it, God bless you, you can plug in anything that's less than 8. If you want to go like real basic with it, you could plug in 0. A lot of times plugging in a 0 makes life really easy, okay? I'm just going to plug in 7 because 7 is right next to what our answer is. So I would plug it in when we check it. 3 times 7 plus 1 minus 4 times 7 is greater than or equal to negative 5. So this is 8, okay? So 3 times 8 is 24. Excuse me. 4 times 7 is 28. 24 minus 28 is negative 4. So this is saying negative 4 is greater than or equal to negative 5. Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah, negative 4 is a bigger number than negative 5, so it checks out.
How did you get 24?
Check me out, check me out.
So 7 plus 1 is 8, right? So it's 3 times 8, and 3 times 8 is 24.
Well, why didn't you do the
You could, it's just more work. You could do 3 times 7 is 21, 3 times 1 is 4, so 21 plus, 3 is 24. You'll get the same answer if you do it that way. All right, third one. What do you do first on this one? You're going to distribute. Okay, now here's what you have to watch out for, Melian. I don't believe you. Yeah, but you're loud. You just have a boisterous voice. You need to hone that in. What you need to watch out for here. This is what kind of number? It's a negative. So when you distribute it, you're distributing that negative with it, okay? So it's going to be 15 is less than or equal to 5, and then you have minus 8m, and then negative 2 times 7 would be minus 14, okay? What would you do next?
Right there, you go.
Hey, no.
You subtract. You add.
Melian, thank you for raising your hand. What would you do?
Okay.
Melian raised his hand.
No, dude.
No, you gave me the hand up. I'm giving you the opportunity to answer.
So I'm like, I think you need to do like the last equation. You need to like
Combine the like terms. What are your like terms right here?
the 5 and 14.
Yes. Okay, so you have 5 and you have a negative 14. So we're going to combine those. We're not moving them over to the other side yet. We're just combining. So it's going to be 15 is less than or equal to 5 minus 14 is what? Negative 9, right? minus 8m is still there, so make sure you bring that down. Now you can add the 9. Okay, so plus 9 and plus 9, you get 24. Can you stop, please, shooting things around the room? 24 is less than or equal to negative 8m. And then what do?
You divide.
Oh, Katie, here's the one you were talking about earlier. So you divide by a negative, so you get negative 3. What's your symbol? Greater than or equal to. You have to flip it because we divided by a negative. Okay, so this is your answer, or if you prefer the variable first, it would say what? M is less than or equal to negative 3. Okay, so either one of these is fine. You don't do both, just pick one. Okay, so if we're gonna check our answer, what number is a good number to plug in? Less than or equal to negative 3 would be negative 4, negative 5, something like that. So let's plug in a negative 4. 15 is less than or equal to 5 minus 2 times 4 times negative 4 plus 7. Okay, so PEMDAS, we're going to do parentheses first. 4 times negative 4. Olivia.
Yes.
Either stay back there or stay up here. But no more. We're doing a lesson. You don't get to go to the bathroom right now. So you have 15 is less than or equal to 5 minus 2 times negative 16 plus 7. Okay, what's negative 16 plus 7? That would be negative 9. Okay, so 2 times negative 9 is a negative 18. So you have 15 is less than or equal to 5 minus a negative 18. Minus a negative is plus a positive, right? So 15 is less than or equal to 23. Is that true?
Yes.
True. So it checks out. Okay? Okay, last one. And this one requires some focus, some thinking through what is going on here. So pay attention to the wording. Let me know if I lose you, and we will. Oh, that didn't copy over very nice. This was a cursive L on my paper. Is it a cursive L on? Oh, yeah? Okay. I don't know why I didn't do it here.
What does it mean, D?
What? The cursive L? Length. Okay, here it goes. It says in a community garden. So everyone has their own little garden space. Okay? You want to fence in a veggie garden that's next to your friend's garden. So your friend already has a fence around her garden like this. Okay? It says you have at most 42 feet of fence. At most. So you don't have any more than 42 feet. Okay? I want to know what are the possible lengths of your garden. So what is this? What possibilities do you have for how long that could be? Okay. Now here's the deal. You already have fencing because you're sharing a side with your friend. You already have this taken care of. You need this much fencing. Let's change the color. You need the red fencing. Okay. Do you know any of the lengths right now?
Well, all of that's 42.
At most 42.
Nope, we don't know all of that.
But you do know one side of it. How long is this? It's 12, right? So we know that if we add up these three, so L plus 12, it should somehow relate to 42. Now, here's where a lot of people struggle. What's the symbol that's going to go there if we have at most 42 feet of fencing?
Less than agreement. Greater than or equal to.
Less than or equal to, right? This amount has to be less than or equal to the 42 feet that we have. Okay? Now we simplify that. What's L plus L?
Length plus length.
2L. Okay? You're correct. You're both correct. So it looks like this. What do you do first? Subtract the 12. So we're going to take away 12. And we get 2L is less than or equal to 30. And then what?
You divide.
Divide by 2. So the length is less than or equal to 15. Okay, now you're done, but you're not done. The question says, what are the possible lengths of your garden?
15.
Okay? So if we were going to write this as a sentence, we would say the possible lengths are what?
15. Or less.
15 what?
15
Yard.
feet.
Are 15 feet, and Casey had it right, or less. Okay, so you can make a garden that's less than 15 feet in length. Why can't you make one that's more than 15 feet in length?
They would give you like the fence.
The fencing is a max of 42. You can't make it any bigger, or you just won't have fencing around it. And you want fencing all the way around. Okay? So this would be your answer. Any questions on that?
Nope.